Hi everybody, and welcome back to Ralphie's Happy Hour Kitchen. Today, I'm actually drinking something that is going to be going into the recipe. It is a semi-sweet Merlot, Balatoni, and it is from Hungary. It's going to work good with my recipe today. I'm not even going to lie and tell you that I like dry wines, because I don't. I like a wine that's fruity. I even like a sweet wine, dry wine. For all of you wine connoisseurs out there, I'm sorry, can't do it. Got to go with the semi-sweet or the sweet wine because I like it. Okay, let's get right into this. Today we're doing meatballs. As a matter of fact, the best meatballs. I know everybody out there has had or makes the best meatballs. Well, if that's true, then so do I. Okay, we're going to get started here. First, we're going to start off with the gravy. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you why it's gravy as I'm cooking it. Okay, here we go. We got a pan about this size. I heated up some olive oil in there. I'm going to go with a medium-sized onion chopped to about this consistency, if you can see that. Okay, that's going in. And about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, sliced. You don't have to get a razor blade and slice them like they did in The Godfather. You could just slice them nice and thin with your knife and that should do, or you could chop them if you'd like. That's going in. Okay, so I got my olive oil in there, I got my onions, and I got my garlic. For those of you who like to use the already chopped garlic that comes in the jar in the oil, negative. Don't use that. You gotta slice your own garlic. You gotta slice fresh garlic. You don't know how long that's been, sitting in that jar. I don't know. For me, it never worked. It doesn't give it a good taste. I like the fresh garlic. It takes a couple more minutes. I know it's not as easy as scooping it out of the jar and putting it in, but trust me, a lot better product when you use the fresh garlic. What you're gonna do is, and you gotta go with the long wooden spoon here, as you can see, because we got the deep pot. You're going to cook these until they start changing color a little bit. Now with garlic, you never want it to get real dark because it sours their sauce or your gravy, and you got to keep your eye on it. Probably, I don't know, medium to medium high. Keep stirring it. Make sure you have enough olive oil in there. Get that stuff nice and soft. And then we're going to show you what we do after that. I'll cook it down, show you what it looks like, and then we'll get our tomatoes in there. We'll talk a little bit about the tomatoes too. Right, we'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, we're back. All right, I got the onions and garlic going here. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. It starts changing color, if you could see it. As soon as it starts changing color, you know it's done. All right, and it's not done, the meal's not done, but the onions and garlic are done. So now what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take your tomatoes, okay, and I use Cento brand tomatoes. It's a good quality tomato. It's a little more expensive than the other tomatoes, and it is a San Marzano tomato, which is the Cadillac of tomatoes. For a couple of extra nickels, for me, it's no question. I'm using the San Marzano tomatoes now. I usually use the puree. They didn't have it where I went today, so I got the whole tomatoes, and what I did is I put them in a blender. I blended them up because my family likes it smooth. If you don't like it smooth, you like it chunky, you can break them up by hand. All right, we're going 4 28-ounce cans. I'm going to put those in there. Excellent tomato. Do yourself a favor, splurge, and try the San Marzano tomatoes. You will not be disappointed. Have about a half a cup of fresh basil. I grow my own. You don't have to grow your own. They sell it at all the supermarkets. I just gave it a rough cut, and I'm going to put that in there. It gives it a good taste. I'm going to stir that up. Make sure it's all mixed well. Again, I used, you know, 1 onion. If you like more onions, you can put more. I mean, this is what I found works. If you like a little more basil flavor, you can put a little more basil in. If you'd like, a little more garlic if you'd like. Again, you might want to try this one, see if it's okay. If not, you can switch it. Okay. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back on and we are going to bring it to a boil. Okay. Get it back on there. You're going to bring it to a boil, and then what you're going to do is, and this is a handy dandy item to have here, this is a heat diffuser. And what this saves you from is burning the bottom of your gravy, which I don't know if anybody's ever had gravy that's been burnt or not stirred. It has that sour taste to it, that bitter taste to it from that burnt on the bottom. You don't want that. This saves you from that. In case you forget to get up and stir it, you're watching the game, whatever. Keep this underneath there, guaranteed not to burn your gravy. So again, we bring it to a boil, then we set it on the back on top of the heat diffuser, and we just go low and slow, okay? When I come back, I'm going to start putting the meatballs together, and then we'll get the meatballs in the sauce, and as soon as, now let's get to that, okay? As soon as those meatballs hit that sauce, it becomes gravy, because gravy is a meat-based sauce. That's what it is. We all know that. Turkey gravy, chicken gravy, pork gravy. Well, when you put meatballs in tomatoes, it becomes red gravy. Hence, why the Italians call it gravy. Just wanted to clear that up for all you folks out there. Alright, got that going. When I come back, like I said, we'll start putting the meatballs together and start putting this whole meal together. And have one on me, buddy. Be right back. Hey, welcome back. Alright, we have the tomatoes are just about boiling, so we're going to get ready to move those to the back burner, low and slow. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little fresh black pepper, and we're going to put some fresh black pepper in there. A little bit, not a lot. And if you've noticed, I haven't put any salt in there, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when I make my meatballs, what you're going to see is I use a lot of cheese in the meatballs, and cheese is salty, and you will add saltiness to the gravy with just the meatballs cooking in there, you know, all on their own. So if you like it real salty, I would cook it first, see how it turns out with just the flavor of the meat, and if you need to add salt, add it at the end. I wouldn't put it in ahead of time. That's just me, that's how I'm doing it. Alright, now we come to Mr. Ballatoni. Alright, we're going to put about 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of the wine in here before we start simmering. Okay? And wine is a common practice, I believe. I'm sure some of you folks out there put wine in your gravy. And also some people put sugar in their gravy. So what I'm doing by having a semi-sweet red wine is I'm going to get that little bit of sweetness that you would get from the sugar from the wine, and I'm putting the wine in also. Works for me. You know, again, if you want to try something different and, you know, use a different kind of wine, or you want to put sugar too, depends on how you like your sauce. This turns out pretty good like this. You might want to try it, and again, if you don't like it, you can make it once and throw it away. Alright, we'll give this a stir. And get it back up on the back burner. And we're just going to, we're still going to stir it out occasionally, even though we have the diffuser there, because again, you don't want the bottom to burn. You want to keep it stirred, and you want to keep that good consistency. All right, the meat. I'm going with 2 pounds of ground pork, and that's 1 pound here, pound number 2 here, and then this is a pound of ground veal, and that's going in here. And we have to mix this all around before we put our seasoning in. So we're going to mix this all up. Get it nice and uniform, mixed well. I know a lot of you out there are saying, where's the beef? I used to make my meatballs with beef. I stopped doing it because, frankly, they taste better with just veal and pork. I know everybody out there probably goes to the supermarket, you get the pack of, you know, the meatloaf mix. Veal, beef, and pork mix. You know, you do your egg, whatever you do, and mix your seasonings in there. Do yourself a favor. Try 2 pounds of pork, 1 pound of veal. I think you're going to like it. Alright, mix it up good. I hope I don't have to tell you to make sure you wash your hands before you do this. Just saying. Or wear gloves. Now they have the chef gloves in the supermarket that everybody can buy. Alright, mix this up good. What I do is I leave it, I don't know why. I just poke my fingers in it and leave a bunch of holes in there, and you can see that's how it looks when I do that. So when I put the ingredients in there, they get started blending, I guess. I don't know. Works for me. Alright, I'm going to get all the seasoning for the meat up here. When we come back, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to give you guesstimates about how much I put in. This is the first time I've ever had to measure it. I've been doing it by eye for my whole life. But I think I got measured out pretty good, and we'll give it a shot that way. Alright, be right back. Alright, we're back. I just want to say one thing. I was a little skeptical about sharing my meatball recipe with the world, you world. But I got a request from Valerie McDonough. So Val, this one's for you. All right, we got our meat mixed up. We're going with 2 eggs. All right, I like to use the brown eggs. You could use the white eggs. We're going with 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. I don't like to use fresh garlic in my meatballs. They make them very garlicky. It's tough. It's a tough cook. All right. If somebody else has it down pat and they can do it, you can try it. I like the garlic powder. It's more manageable. It's easier to work with. Better flavor, I think. So that goes on top. Everything goes on top, and then we're going to get dirty. I got about a half a cup of fresh chopped Italian parsley. Chop it up pretty fine because you don't want big chunks of garlic in your, big chunks of parsley in your meatballs. You want it, you know, pretty fine. That goes on top, very important. All right, get that in there. We are going with about a cup of breadcrumbs. Sprinkle that in there. Some black pepper. I don't know. I would just coat the top with the black pepper, back and forth a couple of times, whatever that measurement is, I have no idea. The key to a great meatball, the best meatball, is the Pecorino Romano grated cheese, the grated cheese. A lot of cheese, gotta have a lot of cheese in there. The best meatball you've ever had in your life had a lot of cheese in it. So I'm sure you could have had the best meatball already. I think it's right here. But you might have had it, but if you did, it had a lot of cheese in it. So we're going with the standard cheese, grated cheese container. And we're gonna go probably, geez, about 3/4 of that. So 3/4 of this container, okay, goes in. Now, the trick, and this was my grandmother's trick, is we're going with 4 slices of white bread. We're gonna wet it and we're gonna mix it in there. So somebody run over here and wet this. Be right back. I'm back. Okay, feels a little weird. It's a little creepy, a little awkward. Wet the bread, squeeze out the excess water. When you put it in there, break it up a little bit. Just do it on top. Okay. I can't give you the reason why this is in there, but it's in there and it makes a great meatball. Now, I'm going with the gloves because this is you know what? No gloves. We're going in. Here we go. Got to mix this up real good. Now, again, I've never measured this out before. I think I got the measurements right. If I didn't, I'm going to know right away. And I will change it right here for you guys so that we get the right recipe. The key to this though is you got to mix it real good. Mix it good. Make sure nobody gets out. No escapees. Another thing, because we're using a good tomato, the San Marzano tomatoes, your gravy's going to be thick because it's a good tomato. A lot of the other brands, cheap brands, the off brands have water in them. They're real watery. The Cento San Marzano tomatoes don't. It's a good quality tomato. It's very thick and rich, very flavorful. So you know when you're cooking your gravy, if you cook it long and slow, it might thicken up a little bit. Don't thin your gravy out with water, please. All right, no water. If it gets a little thick, you want to thin it out. Put a little more wine in it. Put a little chicken broth in it. Put beef broth, vegetable broth, whatever kind of broth you want. Do not put water in your gravy because all you're doing is watering it down. You know, it affects the flavor of it, the richness, the taste of it. You don't have to do that. All right, these are feeling pretty good moisture-wise, and you want them to be moist. You don't want it to be dry. If for some reason it's dry, really dry, just put another egg in. Not a big deal. Put one more egg, moisten it up a little bit. Eggs are different sizes. You know, you might get a meat pack that has, you know, instead of a pound, it might have a pound and a quarter. You know, so it's not an exact science. Just make sure they feel moist. You don't want it to be real dry. And just mix it well. Mix it up good. Ah, these smell good before they're even cooking. All right. I think I'm mixed up pretty good here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is while I'm going, I'm going to roll all these meatballs, because while you're cooking the meatballs, you don't want to be rolling and cooking at the same time. You want to have them all rolled out. This way you can concentrate on cooking them so that you can roll them around, make sure they stay round, make sure none of them burn. So what I do is I roll all the meatballs ahead of time, and then I'll go ahead and cook them after that, after they're all rolled and ready to go. Just a more efficient process, if you will. All right, again, we're all mixed up. I think we're ready to go. You can smell the cheesiness and the garlic, and it's amazing. I'm telling you, try these meatballs. You're gonna love these meatballs. All right, I'm gonna roll these up. We're gonna get them in a pan, start frying them up. We're gonna talk a little bit about frying them and how I fry them and what I do with them and all that good stuff. And we'll be right back. All right, we're back. All right, I'm almost finished rolling up the meatballs here, as you can see. And I've never done it before, but today, for our purposes, mine and yours, I actually measured them, and it's about 1/3 of a cup is the size of my meatball. So you probably, some would say that I have big balls. Doesn't matter. You can make them a little bit smaller if you like, you know, medium balls. Or if you like teeny tiny little balls, you can even make them smaller. There is no right, there is no wrong. Whatever you like, whatever your family like, whatever your friends like. Anyway, this is the size I use. We got the pan heated up over here, okay? And why, like I said, I do these all at the same time and have them all rolled up is because once they get in the pan, I like to watch them, I like to roll them around, make sure they're cooking evenly, make sure they're browning. Some people put them into their sauce raw. Some people partially cook them and then put them in the sauce. Some people bake them in the oven. All right, I like to fry them all the way through, or 90% of the way, and then put them in the sauce and let it cook a little more. Again, that's just what I found works. It works for me. Again, try it this way. This way will definitely work. Or a combination of what you do and some of this. It doesn't matter. Just have fun with it. By the way, got the top 40 back on again today. I liked it the other day. They're doing a great job with that music. All right, let's get these in the pan. Get them going. Ah, gotta love this. I typically do mine, I guess you would say, in 2 batches. You want to have room in the pan to move them around. And that's what we're going to do. Start them off, you want to roll them around a little bit, because as soon as you put them in, they're going to start getting browned. Not browned, but they're going to start getting cooked on one side. And I like to seal them up, if you will. Get that all sides cooked thing going on there. Kind of will seal in the juices, and the meatballs won't dry out. Again, I coated the bottom of the pan with olive oil. And I'm just going to keep rolling them around until all the sides are cooked a little bit. Once you get all the sides cooked, you probably don't have to roll them around as much. I like to keep them round because it is a ball. It's supposed to be round. They're looking good. They're smelling even better. Again, a lot of cheese, very important. Good tomatoes for the gravy, I think is important. I think you'll see a difference. For all you who are wondering where I'm from a sleepy little hamlet called Parsippany, nestled in the countryside of Morris County, New Jersey. And been here for 25 years, love it, great community, raised my kids here, got a lot of friends here. It was just a great place to live, and I'm still here. All right, I am going to, as soon as I get these all partially cooked on all sides, give you guys a look at them. Let me see what it looks like. Ooh, you can see the parsley. There's going to be parsley in every bite. Gotta like it. Alright, I'm going to show you these guys, and then I'm I'm going to finish cooking them and show you the finished product. Alright, you know what? While I got you, you probably noticed I didn't put any oregano, dried oregano, in my gravy. I think there's a fallacy that's going around that people think, you know, if they put oregano in anything, it makes it Italian. Negative. That's untrue. I do grow fresh oregano, which is a tremendous herb, great flavor, great taste, and I do use dry oregano, but I use it only in certain dishes. Not a real lot. I don't use a lot of dried herbs. I like to use fresh herbs. And to me, it just gives it a better flavor. Anyway, here, let's take a look at these. Alright, we got them partially cooked. As you can see, you can still see they're a little raw. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to finish cooking them. They're going to be a little darker brown. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Then we're going to put them in the sauce, which at that point becomes gravy. Remember, we talked about this. And then that's pretty much it. You're going to let them simmer in there for about an hour, and got the finished product. Okay, we're going to get these back up on the stove. We're going to finish them up a little bit, and then we're going to get right back to you. Alright, we're back. I got first batch of meatballs is in the gravy. I'm going to show you what they look like before it's going in there. You can see them. They got that nice dark brown on there. Now, they're not cooked all the way. Alright? They're still, they still got to cook, you know, in the gravy. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to put all of these in the pot, but two. And I'm going to show you what I do with the last two. Hang on. Just get them in there. I'm going to stir them around so they're in the sauce. Alright. Now you're going to let those simmer for about, I don't know, about another hour or so. But then the last two, what you're going to do with these guys here is, and this takes me back to when I was young, get home from church, meatballs are cooking. You're going to cut these guys in half, and they're just a little bit pink on the inside. And you want to put them pink side down. And then you want to go ahead and turn your heat up and just finish those off. So you can sample them because they're delicious and because you can. Then when you're done with that, what I do is I take all that love that's in the bottom of that pan and that goes in the gravy. Just adds to the flavor. And all it is the olive oil and the juices from the meatballs and, you know, the seasonings and the cheese, and you definitely don't want to throw that away because you work so hard to get it to taste like that. Alright, we got these guys are frying up here. We're going to finish them up. Now, in an hour, when your gravy's done, your meatballs will be done, and then you can do a variety of different things with them. You could essentially make any kind of pasta you want. You can make spaghetti, you can make ziti, you can make angel hair. It doesn't matter, whatever pasta you like. You can take them out, you can make meatball parm sandwiches with them. You can make meatball sandwiches with them. You can eat them just in a dish with a little cheese on them. Look, meatballs are great. Everybody loves meatballs. And again, I know everybody has had or makes the best meatball. But try this recipe. You might be surprised. You might like it. Oh, we're almost done here. We're getting that golden brown on the bottom look. Just like the top. Alright. Those guys are done. We're going to let them cool for just a second so we can see how they are. We're going to take the love. We're going to pour it right in there. Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm going to stir that in. Again, you want to stir this about every 15 minutes. You know, you don't want the bottom to burn. You got the heat diffuser underneath there. That should take care of your burning problems, but you still want to stir it. You don't want to let it go. All right, let's see what we got here. Yes. Again, you want to put too much cheese in. There's no such thing. That makes the meatball. I hope you try the recipe. I hope you love the meatballs because we do. And we got a lot of episodes coming up. Again, if there's anything you guys want to see me do, you want to see me try, just hit me up. I'll try anything. Send me your recipe and I'll give you a shout out and we'll try it here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Ralphie's Happy Hour Kitchen. Thanks.